Hey there, imagine having a digital workspace that not only tracks and manages your AI art, but also provides a visual database of prompts to fuel your creativity. Sounds great, right? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how I use this Notion workspace to keep track of all my favourite AI art prompts. My name's Andy Wood, and I write the Prompt Hackers daily newsletter, where I share premium Midjourney prompts with over 1,200 subscribers. Now, before I get into this, if you like what you see and you want to grab your own copy of this workspace, already populated with the Prompt Hacker prompts and lots of other goodies, then use the link in the description to find out more. Okay, so let's jump into the workspace and let me show you around. So this is the home page, and as you can see on the left hand side we have some quick menu options. So open the gallery, add a prompt. We can open the core references, add a core. We have a toolkit, which I'll come on to. And on the right hand side, you can see that we've got a quick reference to the prompts and the styles for all sorts of things. So Midjourney cores, art materials, I've got some photographic styles in there that I use regularly, and some photographic processes, and the art styles that I use, and my own collection of custom styles, and this is a subset of those, and then the full prompt list for prompt hackers. Now this view is a shortened view, and we can load more in there. There are lots more in here. We can load more just by clicking here. So if I click on there, it adds the next page load, and it will keep going until it's exhausted. And the second option is to open the prompt gallery. So that's what we'll do now. We'll just open the prompt gallery. So these are all the prompts that have come from Prompt Hackers. Now if you want to add your own prompts in there, you can do that, and I'll show you how to do that. And as you can see, it's very easy to find something that you actually want. So let's say we want the ink wash comic prompt. We just click on it, and then there's the prompt, the subject in the style of detailed ink wash comic book art, post-apocalyptic backdrops. So if I click on the clipboard there, then I've copied that, and I can just simply paste that into Discord. I can expand the image and have a look. Yes, that's definitely what I wanted. Just click off it. Categories, click on categories. You can see at the minute it's in illustration and comic, but I can add a new category in there, or I can delete a category. If I don't want to use these, or I find a new one, so let's say we have fruit. Don't know why I would have fruit in here, but there we go. Now fruit's added to the list of categories for ink wash comics. If I click on there again, I can delete it for this particular prompt, and if I want to take it out of the options completely, if I just click in the space to add one, find fruit, find the three dots, click it, and remove. Version I exclusively create prompts for Midjourney, but this obviously could be used for any platform. I've updated all the older prompts to version 5.2, which is the current one as I'm recording this. But again, if there's a version 6, I just type 6 in there and return, and it will add 6 in there. I can tell the workspace that this is a favorite of mine, so let's just click that. What's this prompt best used for? And again, this is my list. You can add your new ones in there, you can delete any of these, but this one is, I've said, is best for animals and people. And the source, I only ever have two: Prompt Hackers. So basically it's from the Prompt Hacker newsletter, or it's one of my own versions of a prompt. So I just designate self to those, and it really is as easy as that. So recover a prompt. If I want to add a prompt, now earlier on I was playing in Discord and I came up with this little cutie, kitten wallpaper, ice full HD in the style of V-Ray tracing. It's caricature-like. I've set a colour scheme for it, dark white and azure. Melting pot just gives it a kind of a melting feel in there, a matte photo effect, and it's a character illustration. So if I just take that and copy it from Discord, head back to the workspace. Now if I scroll all the way down to the bottom of the prompt database, I can hit new. I'll show you. If I want to go back to the home page, I can click AI prompt pod there, and we're back home. Let's open it again. The other way of going back home is just take your mouse and just take it to the left, and in a fraction of a second this will come up. Now this is the prompt pod. I wouldn't advise that you access these directly. I would always use that home page to access, and that way you won't get lost and you won't mess something up. But obviously it's up to you. So here we are back here. So another way to add a prompt is, so that's open the gallery. This button here will add a prompt. So let's call this, let's give it a name, kitten in cup. We copied the prompt in Discord, so we'll just paste it here. We can add an image. Now earlier on in Discord I upscaled this image and I saved it to my hard drive. Now as you'll probably be aware, it saves as a PNG at about 1.3 meg for this. I tend to then open them up and then resave them as JPEGs, and instead of 1.3 meg it drops it down to about 200k, which it just saves on space. So I've saved that again as a JPEG on my hard drive. So if I go back to adding the prompt, click on where it says empty, add a file. You can embed using a link, so if you've got a URL then you could use that. In this case I want to upload, choose the file, kitten in a cup, open, and in a jiffy it will have loaded the image. Category, well, it's an illustration and you can select multiple categories and it's a fun illustration. Version 5.2, which it was at the point of creating this video. I'll mark it as favourite and show you that in a moment. It's best for, so what is this prompt best for? Now I think it's best for animals, but you could add any of these in. Again, type in here if you want to add something else, and if you want to delete any you can. You can give them a colour as you saw. So it's best for animals, and the source in this case it's self, because it's not been in prompt hackers. So that's the upload done, so just click away from it and that's now in the database. Now it won't show here because this is a limited view, and if I click on these three dots here you can see I've limited it to 25 pages or 25 prompts, that means. So I won't mess with that, but if I open the prompt gallery and scoot down, you can see I already had it in there because I've had a previous play with it. Let me just delete that version. So to delete a prompt, click on the three dots and delete. So that's the version I've just uploaded, and as you can see the image is just a little bit out of kilter. So if I click on reposition, drag him down, save the position, and there we are. Now as you recall, I've marked it as a favourite. So this is the prompt gallery. If I go back to the main page, I've already added a filter on here for favourites. So if you just click on there, you can see that our new prompt is a favourite, as was the ink wash prompt. If I want to unfavourite it, if I just click on it, click the favourite, uncheck it, and then click again, it's gone. Go back to all prompts, and I can filter and sort on here. So the best way to demonstrate that is to open this full gallery, and we've got the full gallery there. Now then, I can sort them by the parameter, so I can say sort by title. Yeah, at the moment it's in alphabetical order, so let's do it reverse alphabetical order, and there you can see it's done that. Or I can pop it back, so do it that way. I can also filter on just show favorites, just show particular category, so the photography images, prompts I mean, and then my photography prompts. And if I can check that, let's just say, let's say fun. There's the fun prompts. And if you decide that you want access to this, you get all these in the database. It's already pre-populated with these. Let's take fun out and say illustrations. Now it's just show me the illustrations. So you get the idea. It's very, very easy to use. So do that. If there was multiple versions in there, 5.26, you could filter by version. At the moment there's only 5.2 in there because that's the current. So let's go back to the home page. So that's the prompts, how to add, how to recover them, filtering and sorting them so that you can find them. We have, as I said, the inspiration. So these are custom styles. You can add your own custom styles in there. These are my custom styles. It's actually a subset of my custom styles. I have lots and lots of these. I can load more in there. If there's more than the 25 that I have it set to, just click on that and I can keep going until it loads them all in. Same on all of these. So there's my custom style. Let's just have a look at Benny's flowers. Again, there's the prompt, there's the image. I can mark it as a favorite if I wish, but I don't. I have some general art styles in there and Midjourney cores, and I have art materials that are in there, and these are just mainly for inspiration, just to get your creative juices flowing. Then I have some photographic styles and photographic processes that I use regularly in there. On the left hand side we have a quick reference colour wheel. I'm always looking at this. If you're not aware of a colour wheel, basically it tells you which colours work best together. So basically you go to opposite sides. So the yellows work well with blues, the reds work well with blues, and the lighter reds with the darker blues, then the pinks with the darkers, and the greens with yellows on there. So it's just a quick handy reference guide. There's also I have some frequent tools in there. There's an Adobe colour wheel which is interactive, so you can move pointers around and get some better matches if you want something a little bit more accurate. These are the platforms I use most regularly. Some of them are paid, some of them not. The colour wheel's free. Adobe Express, I believe it's free, but you need an Adobe login. But don't hold me to that, it might be paid. Layer Pix is free, and you can take any of your images and turn them into 3D. Topaz Upscaler, there's lots of upscalers out there. I find that one's the best, but that is paid. Quick link to Midjourney if I need to be in there, and Adobe Firefly, again I think that's free at the minute because it's in beta, but you do need a login, I believe. And then I've got some animation platforms there. Kaiba, for example, I use quite a bit, should I say, and image manipulation. And I'll extend these if I start using the tool regularly. I will add to these. So that's it. That's how I use it. This uses the free version of Notion. So if you do want this and you do purchase it, you will get, you need to open a free account at Notion, and then I will give you a link. You'll log into Notion, paste the link into your browser. That will send you to this workspace, but you won't be able to change anything. So for example, the ads will not work. But in the top right hand corner of your page, there will be a duplicate, and if you click on the duplicate, it will immediately copy the entire workspace, including the content, to your own private workspace, and then you'll be able to do anything you want with it. And so all the content goes across with it. It's all yours to then start building on with your own prompts. And yeah, so that's it. So check out the link in the description, and yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers.